A new season means new opportunities, and for these following drivers, they are my ones to watch. Hello everybody, my name is Brody. I have been doing my research, doing my statistics, and I have come up with 8 drivers who I think we need to watch throughout the duration of the season because I think they are real contenders for the championship or desperately need good seasons. So let's jump right in and see who's on the list. Now, it wouldn't be right to make a ones to watch list without starting with the defending series champion, Kyle Larson. He won the 2025 championship and he had a pretty successful regular season and playoffs to go along with it. He had 3 wins on the season, which compared to his 2021 stats of 10, obviously that's a dip, but he did have some solid top 5s, solid top 10s. So he had 15 top 5s, which was tied for first. He had 22 top 10s, which was also tied for first, and he had the second most laps led of the season with 1,106. And guess what? He only had 2 DNFs. So he is very, very, very consistent. I remember in those summer months, he went very cold, didn't win any races, and people were like, where is Kyle Larson? What is happening with Kyle Larson? All the while, he was still finishing like top 10, 12th, 11th, 8th. Like he wasn't like flashing, leading lots of laps up front, but he was getting those solid, under the radar, consistent finishes. And guess what? That is what wins championships with the chase format we now have. Say what you want about how Kyle Larson won the 2025 championship. He is the champion. And what a lot of people forget is that he may have won in a controversial fashion because Denny Hamlin, let's all face it, probably should have won that championship. But if you look at the regular season points without playoffs, regular season points all the way to the end, Kyle Larson would have won that championship regardless. I believe he finished 14 points ahead of William Byron. So he won in both formats, and now we're going to a chase format, which honestly completely favors Kyle Larson in that aspect because he is so very consistent. So he just had his best statistical season since that 2021 championship, and he just won the championship, and now we got a new points format that favors Kyle Larson. I could see Kyle Larson going back to back easily. So I have to put him at one of my ones to watch. My next one to watch is Kyle Larson's young teammate, William Byron. Now, William Byron is an interesting story because he is young and he's an emerging star. But there are some misconceptions about William Byron, especially during his 2025 run. He made the Final Four. He wrecked out in that race, but he won the regular season championship. And yet people still put him down the list. Many people didn't expect him to even make the Final Four because he had a consistency issue. He kind of limped to that regular season championship win because he had some dog days, as some baseball fans would call it. During those summer months, he was in a slump, almost you can call it. And he still ended up winning the regular season championship. In those few first playoff races, he was kind of slumping along, but then he turned it up and got back to that William Byron form early in the year, propelled him to that Final Four, and he put up a damn good fight to boot. So looking at his statistics, he had another 3 wins, very impressive. He had 11 top 5s, which put him tied for 4th. He had 16 top 10s, also tied for 4th, but he led the most laps in the Cup Series, which was a career high for him as well, with 1,330 laps led. He also had 4 DNFs, which kind of contributed to that summer slump. And a caveat to all this is that he did have his worst average finish since the 2022 season of 14.5. If William Byron can figure out his consistency issues and basically redo his regular season championship performance, imagine what he could do with a chase. Because if he wins the regular season championship again, he's going to be so many points above those other chase drivers. And if he can just continue his consistency throughout the chase, he will be a threat for the championship easily. William Byron is going to get a championship before his career is all said and done. And with the points format now, with the chase, I believe that likelihood has only gone up, up, and up. So William Byron is definitely one to watch this season. Here's a driver I am very interested to see how his season goes and how he progresses. It is the 19-year-old phenom Connor Zilisch. So Connor Zilisch dominates his Xfinity Series season in 2025 with 10 wins, obviously first among all drivers. He had 20 top 5s, which was first, 23 top 10s, which was first, and he actually came in second with laps led, just behind his teammate Justin Allgaier with 1,013, only 3 DNFs, and he finished second in the championship, which you might be looking at me crazy, but that is a whole playoff format. Let's just not get into that. We got the chase back. That's all we need to care about. So he's a Rolex 24 winner. Like I said, he's only 19 years old, jumping into the 88 car for Trackhouse Racing. He is going to have a major learning curve. He did make some Cup Series starts, but even he was publicly a bit scrutinizing towards the Cup Series car, which he said he felt like the Xfinity car was a lot more fun to drive, suits his driving style better. So it's going to take some speed or some time to get used to the speed of the Cup car. But I think he can do it. He's won in just about everything he's gotten in, and he has also beat his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen straight up. He straight up beat him at Sonoma in the Xfinity Series. He went toe-to-toe with him at Watkins Glen. And another caveat is that he won the COTA race in the Xfinity car. And SVG, that was the only road course race that he lost. So keep an eye out for Connor Zilisch at COTA this year, because he could make a early trip to victory lane. So Connor Zilisch, he is definitely on my ones to watch. I'm very curious to see how he progresses throughout the season, and he is a sleeper pick for the chase. So Connor Zilisch is one to watch. Next on the list is Denny Hamlin. Now, Denny Hamlin is very interesting because he had the highest of highs and then the lowest of lows in a very quick time frame. He was 4 laps away from winning that elusive Cup Series title, and it was snatched from him. I think a majority of the fans agree he probably should have won the championship. That is circumstance. That is, or was, the NASCAR playoffs. But that is no more. It's a clean slate. Denny Hamlin has been asking for changes to the points format, and here it is. We're going back to the chase, where he almost won. Just barely lost to Jimmy Johnson in that chase, but it's back. And I think Denny Hamlin can be a real player. Looking at his 2025 stats, it definitely shows he is at the top of his game. He had a series high of 6 wins. He had 14 top 5s, which put him second. He had 18 top 10s, which put him third. And he had the third most laps led with 1,024. And it's the clock is ticking for Denny Hamlin. If he wants to get this championship, he has to get it done soon or in the next 2 seasons, because he has publicly stated that this was his last contract. He recently signed a new contract for 2 years with Joe Gibbs Racing, and that contract is up at the end of the 2027 season. So Denny Hamlin has to make hay and make it fast. I think Hamlin can be a real player in the chase. He has to get off to a strong start, figure out some consistency issues as well. He needs to get rid of those mechanical issues, or his team does, because my God, that was horrible. And he even had issues during the championship race. I think it was his clutch. Crazy. That can't keep happening. It can't keep happening for Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole. So if they get rid of those mechanical issues and Hamlin gets those consistency issues figured out, he is going to be a serious factor for the championship. We could be in for a wild championship battle run towards the end here with Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell, Briscoe. It's going to be wild. So Denny Hamlin has a lot of competition but I think he's up for it, and he is definitely one to watch. Speaking of Chase Briscoe is my next one to watch. He had a great 2025 season, career highs across the board, and it makes sense because it was his first season with Joe Gibbs Racing, and he made the most of it. Him and James Small were a great pairing. Great call by Joe Gibbs to make that a pairing, because they kicked you-know-what in the 2025 season, especially at the end, and he was damn close to getting a championship in his first year with Joe Gibbs Racing. Crazy stuff. So let's run through Chase Briscoe's stats. 3 wins, 15 top 5s, tied for first, 19 top 10s, tied for second. He had 884 laps, which was good for fourth, and he had 4 DNFs, but that's not too bad. He made the Final Four, almost won the championship, like I said, and they were all career highs. And James Small, his crew chief, is on the rise with Chase Briscoe. As a pairing, they are on the rise together, and they're going to do great things moving forward in the future. Just another year, 1 year together under their belt, did all that. Imagine what they could do with 2, 3, 4 years. And this new chase format, I think, suits Briscoe and James Small well again. So they are definitely one to watch. Shane Van Gisbergen is my next one to watch, and for a good reason. He literally won 5 out of 6 road course races in his first Cup Series season, which was good for second, just behind Denny Hamlin, who had 6 wins. So SVG is in a bit of a changing atmosphere, because last season he dominated with barely any competition to rival him. But now he has a new teammate, and his name is Connor Zilisch. Connor Zilisch has beat Shane Van Gisbergen head-to-head in an Xfinity car. So having Connor in the Cup Series field every race now, every road course now, is just going to be a little bit harder for Shane to pull off those dominating performances. Maybe Connor won't get up to speed so fast, but I think those 16-second, 20-second, 12-second dominating road course wins, they're going to become 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, maybe 1 second. And maybe Connor Zilisch will figure it out and get one of those wins and steal it from his teammate. Who knows? But there's also more change in the NASCAR world, and we are no longer using the playoff format. Obviously, we are back to the chase. And this may be concerning to Trackhouse and Shane Van Gisbergen, because despite the 5 wins, which is awesome, non-playoff points, the whole regular season points, despite those 5 wins, he did finish 21st in points, which with the win and you're in gone, that would not be good enough. Nowhere near good enough to get him in the chase. So he's got to get better at the short tracks, in the mile and a halves, and the super speedways. He's got to start learning what it takes to be a NASCAR driver, an oval driver. Yes, road course wins are great, but now they will not guarantee you into the chase field. So he has a lot of learning to do, and granted to SVG, he got better. Towards the end of the season, he got better. He was doing a lot better at the short tracks and mile and a halves, which is very good to see. And Shane is not one to be a slouch or to not win races. So you bet he is in the lab, running that simulator, getting all the experience he can. So Shane, he could be a sleeper pick to get into the chase. I wouldn't put it past to get 16th, 15th, 14th seed, but it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard now with Zilisch lurking in the corner, stealing those wins away, potentially. Next on the list is Ryan Blaney. Now, Ryan Blaney had a very topsy-turvy, the definition of mountain ranges, ups and downs, spikes, because he had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows all in one season. And despite that, despite all the lows, he somehow managed to finish 4th in the overall point standings with 8 DNFs. That is crazy. So imagine what he could do if he got rid of those DNFs, got rid of 5 of those, and we now have a chase format which favors overall points. Blaney could be looking for a second championship here soon. And to back all that up are his statistics for 2025, which were a majority career best. So he had 4 wins, which was tied for 3rd overall, but that is his career high. He had 15 top 5s, which was tied for 1st, 19 top 10s, which was tied for 2nd, and he led 851 laps, which was good for 5th. Again, 8 DNFs. If he can cut those out, he can be a serious threat for the championship. And I must say, Jonathan Hassler, Ryan Blaney, that pairing has only been getting better and better. The more rapport they build, similar to a James Small, they are getting very good with each other, and it's only going to get better and up for those pairings. So now Blaney's championship potential really lives with how Team Penske gets going, because Team Penske had the playoffs dialed in, wired in, be good at those flat short tracks like the Phoenixes. That is no more. So they need to figure out the 1.5 mile stuff. They need to get better there. Really need to get better there. The short track stuff, yes, they are great at, but if they can get better at the 1.5 miles, they can be very serious contenders with Ryan Blaney for sure. So Ryan Blaney is one to watch. And rounding out the list, and not for the reason I wish, is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch had his worst season ever in 2025. He had 0 wins, which was his 2nd straight season without a win. He only had 3 top 5s, career low, 10 top 10s, a career low, 88 laps led, a career low. And what makes it worse for Kyle Busch is that he is not adapting to the next gen car well, which results in his DNFs and his crashes. Or RCR is just not giving him at all what he needs, because obviously Kyle Busch, wild thing, he is a God-gifted racing car driver. He knows what he's doing. He is rowdy Kyle freaking Busch. He needs to get back to that. And I am sick and tired of seeing this version of Kyle Busch, because it hurts my heart, man. He was the villain when I was growing up, and all the Dale Earnhardt fans hated him, and most of the NASCAR fans, and every NASCAR fan hated him. He got all the boos, and I miss that. I miss him being the villain, because he was the villain for a reason, because he was so freaking good, and that dude won. He didn't care about what people thought about him, because he went out there, damn the rest, move out of my way. He got those freaking wins, and he was so good at it. I miss that Kyle Busch, and I want a team to give him a car to be able to do what he needs to do. Put that thing on the edge, rip it around the top, get those wins like he used to. It'd just be nice to see. I know, man. So, but there's some good news. He is in a contract year. 2026 is his last year with RCR. Now, if RCR finds some speed, maybe he stays. Maybe he can get a win or two, rekindle that energy, make a spark in Kyle Busch, make a spark in RCR as a whole. Maybe he can resign and they can work some things out. But the reason he's on my ones to watch, because if this season does not go well, you can take it to the book. He will be a free agent, and he will be looking for a new opportunity, a new ride, and there should be a lot of rides available in the 2026 off season. So I'm hoping the best for Kyle Busch. You could definitely see a season like 2025 happen again, or you could see a resurgence. You never know. I'm hoping the best for Kyle, and I know a lot of NASCAR fans are hoping the best for him too, because we need prime Kyle Busch back. Maybe we can't get the full 2018, 2015 Kyle Busch back. Just a little bit. Come on, like, we need that back. But yeah, so Kyle Busch is one to watch for a different reason. Wishing him all the best for the 2026 season. Those are my 2026 ones to watch. Let me know in the comments below. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Who's somebody else I could throw in the mix for a good reason or for a bad reason? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for your viewership. I really, really do appreciate you guys, and it means the world to me to have you guys here. I love to conversate with you down in the comments. I'm just here to share my passion with NASCAR, share with you guys, speak with like-minded people, It really does make my day. So please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new, leave a comment down below. Let's talk a little bit about NASCAR, about this video. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the 2026 season. Let me know if you guys have any other video ideas you'd like me to see. Do give my opinion on whatever it is. I'm always for it. So thank you very much for your viewership. And as always, have a great, wonderful, and even splendid rest of your day. See ya.